Everyone, it is Nick, aka Pavel the Barbarian Bard, here with my bestest voiceover buddy.
So we got a game. Hey, hey, hey. And my friend, before you continue, would you mind sharing your screen with me on our
Oh,
secret,
God, yeah.
private, you never know where we are channel?
Yeah,
On
never to be found, our secret fortress of solitude of video gaming.
Fortress of Solitude on Discord.
Yeah. Now,
Okay, now I see.
if we were more technologically advanced, I'm sure we would have a better way of doing this, but Discord
But
screen share,
why
yeah, it works perfectly fine for us. We would have been here sooner. Gilby was finishing a boss fight in Baldur's Gate.
I was.
So everyone clap.
Thank you.
We're all
Thank
very
you.
excited for Gilby in this.
I could not do it without Nick's help and I know this for a fact because I spent 90 minutes on it last night and literally could not do it without help. But the automaton is dead, and so are its little demon friends.
That's right. The automaton is dead. Long live the new automaton. That's how that works, right?
Sure,
You kill
we'll
the
go with
automaton,
that.
so you become the automaton.
Ooh. I wonder, oh my God, I wonder if I could do like a Power Rangers thing where like I could steal its body and just have it, my halfling character inside his suit.
Baldur's Gate team assemble!
Why not? Ocean Tiger, Tyrannosaurus!
Squished metal head! Alright. We're close to the... Speaking of things we're close to the end of, we're close to the end of our final
this
case.
game.
Yeah.
Wild.
I know.
Wild and crazy.
got-
I think Jake did it.
I think Jake did it?
I do.
Oh boy. Alright, well, there's only one way to find out, I suppose, and that's by diving right back in. You ready to go?
Let's go.
Alright.
I just have an innate dislike of him, and therefore I think he did it.
Poor Jake Marshall.
There's no poor. He ain't poor. He's got a job.
Yeah, he's a patrolman. Come on, Gilby.
Well, that's true.
Oh, hey, we have not.
Oh my God, it's my time. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. So sorry, I forgot who I was. And you have to roll the dice to see who's going first.
That's right. We'll be rolling a new Sharp Edge metal dice set, courtesy
Ooh.
of Dice Envy.
Fancy.
They are
Not
zinc
Foster, but
dice.
we'd be happy to.
Yeah, they are
These
zinc
are-
dice with a pearlescent inset. It's they're quite lovely. I assume you're odd as always, Gilby.
I mean, how long have we known each other?
Yeah, it is a 3, so Gilby will be beginning today as
All right.
whichever
let's go.
character they'd like. Let's say.
No, I am taking over Phoenix.
Okay,
Absolutely.
do it.
And then all other characters to be
As
determined
they show.
as.
All right, and as a reminder, because it is the central conceit of this particular stream, if at any point you become tired of hearing the voice parts that we are doing, remember that you can type objection with an exclamation point in all caps in our chat, and we switch voice parts on demand. So,
Yes. Onward
let's get it going.
for justice.
We let,
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Anna Scott.
what's going on, Shags World? Hello, Fox Malone.
Hey, hey!
Fox Malone says we let fate decide. I don't know why I
That's it.
immediately think of Jeff Goldblum when you say that. Is that a Jeff Goldblum quote?
See, you think you did Jeff Goldblum. I think you did Chris Walken.
Yeah, I always. It's well, let fate decide.
Yeah. Off stream, I'll have to tell you about the time I worked with him real quick.
Yes, you will. Close. Star Wars. Yeah, very close to either Christopher Walken or Jeff Goldblum.
Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Oh, I guess I'll have to be him.
Oh no, I got it. You already took the judge.
Oh, are you okay talking to yourself? What am I
course
saying?
I am.
Go ahead.
Are you kidding me? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Beg pardon? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
I know. You're a patrolman.
A patrolman. As for my name, If you listen hard enough, you can hear the wind, how the wind calling it out. Hey, don't go blowing up my spot, Shags. Nobody knows who I'm voicing in the SWF.
Shags got all the receipts of all the possible.
You are revealing trade secrets right now. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime.
He's living his
shaving and shit. He is.
He's living his authentic cowboy life on the stand.
Maybe that's why he pisses me off. I'm like, there's some basic human hygiene you just shouldn't do in public. Shaving, cutting your toenails.
Drinking whiskey.
In court? I mean, come on now. In plain old English.
Old English. Almost like a whiskey.
Yeah.
Not really. It's malt liquor. It's terrible.
I wonder if in the Japanese version it says in plain old Japanese.
Maybe.
There it is.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time we went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
So he drinks in court, and he drinks while he's working.
We have a record time objection.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. I've never done Jake before, so we're gonna see how this goes. Yeah.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks in the evidence lockers?
Is everything you wanted it to be, Fox Malone? You are welcome.
That's what we're here to please.
Fingerprint-activated locks. What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful.
Not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Even the judge doesn't like him. See, Nick? He did it. He's totally guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Day of the crime.
All right, you pressing it all?
Press it all.
All right.
Harder.
How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time. I was just a caretaker who interred,
Yeah, like Barry.
Oh, interred the record. I thought it was like a misspelling of entered. So,
now
the recording.
We're doing our dramaturg work as we're going.
Right?
You interred them?
See, even he's confused.
Hey.
Videos of nothing that aren't useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Exactly. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
What a drama. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good.
How are we doing text here, dude? Like,
I'm just saying, like, obviously Phoenix and I are sharing a brain cell tonight.
Yeah, we all have one singular brain cell between you and every AI system inside of this game.
Passing them around. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room?
Interesting. Okay.
But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you. That ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
His shape won't end up being all that even, right? It's on one side.
Fox Malone being very concerned about Jake Marshall's fit.
No, Toronto. Ooh. Getting these with it.
See, that's the thing, though. You never see the other side of his face, so he just needs to shave the one.
Right.
And what he's losing at an even shave, he's making up in Riz. That's what the kids say, right?
Is that short for charisma?
It is.
Wow.
My favorite new slang word. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime...
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
There was a rubber glove stalking the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
Is this guy avoiding fire?
That's my question too, Phoenix. Seriously.
Gilly, we've both worked retail. Surely you know...
This is not retail. This is security with, like, public property. It's vastly different.
Yeah, but if an undesirable job's an undesirable job, and sometimes it's harder to find a new person than it is to fire the person that you got, right?
God, why you gotta hit me with that truth bomb? That's just rude.
It's not between the two of them. Oh, speaking of us laughing uncontrollably, Fox, you have to at some point check out the highlighted clip from last week in case you didn't see it.
Oh my God, I almost died from choking on my own damn
I got Gilly
laughter.
pretty good. I'm very proud of that still. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine.
And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. Well, he and I have one thing in common.
Right? See? Common ground,
Just
that's
the
all
one.
it takes. Use
Just
that to tap into the
the
character
one.
of Jake Marshall.
Substitution, right? I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. Also true, I never learned how to ride a bike. Well,
That's
we do have a lot
quite,
in common.
incredible.
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Fox, what I may have ghosted you last week where I turned it on and have too many... No. Hey,
No.
Yeah, Shags is fond of saying this is for fun, this is not a chore. So even you guys coming in and giving us a view and not being here, like...
You're
that's
giving
still
us your
highly
time
Yeah.
now. Like, seriously, dudes, don't even feel that way.
Yeah, and never feel like you are obligated to be here. We love it if you guys choose to show up, but honestly, even if it was just me and Gilby and probably James so much, we're just here to play games. So we appreciate you guys being here. So, you mentions it. Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
Fred, yes.
At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the crime. Well, I appreciate that you like it. We appreciate that you're here, Foxman.
Thanks, Foxy.
Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? What are you doing in a place like that?
Valid question. I was eating spaghetti. Okay, this is a deep cut. Do you know why he says spaghetti?
Absolutely, he's talking about spaghetti westerns.
Spaghetti
shot in
westerns!
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Mild respect for the writing, but still not respect for the character. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongole sepia. Wow, I am not Italian. I'm so sorry.
That's...
Vongole sepia pasta?
Yeah, say it and go.
Okay.
Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
That's what I'm saying. Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
That's not what I meant. I hope this at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? Ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
I gotta believe that in Japan they had a lot of fun playing up like the Texan American cowboy stereotype.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I better up the ante. Alright, this is a good time for our
Objection!
of the evidence. Oh, the objection?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, review of the evidence.
I mean, we can also
Wait,
present
no,
something
no,
straight.
no, 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 not until we have the thing. Hold on. I have learned. I have learned.
A lot of stuff here still.
A lot of stuff. Honestly, the Blue Badger might be a part of this.
It could be, actually. Switchblade knife, blood testing.
Maybe that feels like it's important.
Unless he's all the sevens.
Yeah.
Fingerprint set.
Is he in charge of finding the lost ID?
Doesn't look
Like, where does this go to? I guess that's my question.
I think it goes to the police captain, is what they told us in the dialogue last time.
Okay.
So I don't think that's a thing. We do have that.
You do. That's
what
what
I
we
think-
should use.
That's what I think they were saying was the trump card.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We did not look at this last time because we got these files just before.
Right.
So, Fox Malone, I have played this case before, but between wanting to make this an authentic experience for Gilby and also my Swiss cheese memory, this is like 50-50 acting and 50-50, oh god, where are we? So...
And I'm just along for the ride.
No, you're leading this investigation.
Am I?
Yeah.
No, I am. I'm in charge. Yeah. See, Jake Marshall was an investigator with Angel Star on this case.
Yeah.
If anybody has a reason to bury the evidence, it's
true.
maybe Jake Marshall didn't do a good enough job on the serial murder case, and he wants to hide the evidence of his sucky behavior.
Maybe so. So I guess the question is,
where do we put the bloody handprint?
I think he wants them to. I think he wants to save the bloody handprint. Is what I would. Is what I would
Intuit
interpret from the dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah. I can look it up in the walkthrough, or we can. Pulse
No.
it through.
Let's
Okay.
see.
My instinct is the locker here because they made a big
Yeah.
deal out of it already.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let's see if they want this yet. Nope.
Nope, the music didn't change.
Yeah.
We've learned enough about the game. We've been trained like Pavlovian puppies.
Maybe we do the handprint. Maybe your instinct was right.
Maybe. Yeah, put it right at the end there.
All right. Yeah. you're
There we
right. I was
go.
wrong.
Aha!
Officer Marshall. Doesn't it?
Oh,
strike
I'm
you as
laughing
odd?
that I was right, not that
No,
you.
no, absolutely. As you should. This is so very Columbo. Officer Marshall. Doesn't it strike you as odd?
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. That is you being called in to testify like this?
Ellipses.
I mean, after all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
That's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner.
I got distracted by Fox Malone's comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month.
Fox Malone, will you expand? What do you mean a behind the scenes but on Columbo?
It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. I don't know. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, the luminol test clearly revealed this.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Nick, according to Fox Malone, the writer forgot to put literally the most important question in the scene. So rather than rewrite it, he just had Columbo pop in and ask it. Then they decided that should be his thing.
That's phenomenal.
That's a Peter Falk save.
Absolutely. He was walking out the door and they were like, the knife! The knife! And he's like,
the knife!
One more thing. Do you own a paring knife? Yes. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
Oh boy.
Sorry. I'm sorry, back to my The bloodstain. What was that? Sorry. The bloodstain and the fingerprint. Unbelievable. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? Nothing to do.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it.
Like the fact that he's a murderer and this is all his fault?
Now's my chance to prove it.
All right, let's cross-examine.
Let's do it.
Like I said, it's... Oh, I won't do the whole thing again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That... And one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's program. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
Marshall's fingerprint found a bloody handprint. On Marshall's own locker, the print has been wiped. I didn't read that correctly, but got it. Move on.
So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Was mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happens we're going back to my original statement. I'm not going to repeat myself again.
The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that are not happening. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with your fingerprint. You wanna know why? See my testimony here.
Refer back to my previous testimony.
Per my last email.
Unrelated.
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other types of murder.
That's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Did we know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that?
Yeah, good point. I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion.
It's not, but...
It's absolutely not, but you know, you do. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that I'm him, so I can't make the pithy commentary while I'm also him.
I mean, you could always beg the chat for a swap.
No, let them find it organically. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert, it's just food for the buzzard. There's only one reality, and that's
the security tape.
So long as my trail, that's the word trail. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? The places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was president, please do so now. Would you like to view my favorite video, Gilby?
Oh, would I?
No sound.
Not the same without the music, though.
Yeah.
It needs the derpy music. I'm not laughing. It was a special moment in time.
It's all the better just to wait for it a little bit. I also can't fast forward, unfortunately.
No, that's all right. So stupid. See, See, doesn't that hat look like it could be the hat that Jake's wearing? I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe. Do you wanna say there's evidence and say it's the hat?
Yeah, I'll try it. Why not?
Okay.
I know it's not. I know that's not it, but I know there's something wrong with this video, and I can't see it.
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't get to it.
Oh.
All right. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Yay!
Oh, let's look for gloves.
Okay.
Is he wearing them?
We should get a good shot of his hand here in a second.
Right, because we've been so focused on looking at his face. Let's look at his hands. I can't tell. I can't tell. Okay, we'll see it when he beats up Meeks.
Poor Meekins.
I know. I need to see fingernails or something.
I don't know if it's going to get that detailed.
Oh God, I literally can't tell.
Is
it the locker?
I don't know. Is it? Which
gotta be
locker?
something
There's
we
so
can
many
see.
lockers.
Well, the one that, not the one that's open, the one that had the blood stain, which I believe is the last one right behind
Look at that
Badgie.
face.
I'm trying not to. Oh, wait, there's a piece of cloth hanging out.
Is there?
Oh, yes, no, I saw it, go back. Not there, it was at the end.
Forwarding.
It's okay, I found it. Okay, glove.
Look at that face. So
Bada
open
ba.
and trusting.
Bada
Look
ba,
at those eyes.
punchy punch. Go back.
So nothing there.
Not yet. I saw it though, He stuffed the costume in his locker. Right there.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
Oopsies. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Mm-hmm. Very well. You could clearly be seen in this video. What? Sorry, Katie had to stop and show me a sock.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. The locker with that white cloth sticking out? That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
I was right. I know I'm right. Been right since. We just need the evidence for him to get caught.
Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! It would seem that only...
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the only one who opened it. The murderer needs to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Everyone's staring at me like I want.
This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it.
Well, Gilby, what would you like to say?
We should show the locker, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Fingerprint sensor. Oh, he's sweating. He's sweating.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't obvious. There are even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst joke I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Miss Officer Marshall.
No, and he is not deserving of the title officer if he decides to behave the way that he's been behaving.
Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
What is he eating?
Olay! Please answer the question.
I
What
shouldn't
is he
laugh.
now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans.
No, but seriously, what is he like munching on? I don't get
So
that.
it's like jerky or something?
I guess. All right, go ahead.
There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Kay!
Is he? You're trying to say he was fighting Meekins, right?
Right, so he's the killer, right? Instead of the victim?
So they're still saying. So this is the confusing part, which is why I'm just flat out telling you.
Oh, okay.
But this is still the trial to find out if Officer Meekins killed the person. So technically, this
Got
is still
it.
Meekins.
Okay, yeah, this is a game design thing I would not have selected.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Officer Marshall was standing right here. Yeah, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
But that's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed the detective in the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
I'll do it.
Okay.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled out a knife on me. Yeah,
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer's simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on this ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. You have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
got quiet and imagine partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as a victim? Well, I don't have anything like
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
that. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics?
Remember the tutorial?
Right. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, do it. Go.
Okay. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
To shove in the costume. I'm sorry. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape.
Why is the judge acting like it's like, oh no, not this again?
After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth.
I did not
show us
disparage your acting choices. It was definitely a choice. Do I have to point it out?
No, we can fast forward to it if you want.
Okay, yeah, it's the coat. It's
the coat.
It's the coat.
But what about the coat?
What about the coat? Oh, it's got blood on it.
There you go.
Ooh.
Shall we?
Yes.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. That's quieter, love. That's to make me... Hold on, sorry. We're having some volume issues over here.
Oh, is it you or me?
It's me, apparently. Katie is trying to adjust my volume.
I asked which one was the game audio.
The game audio is that one.
The one I tried to do?
Yeah, but that also would make Gilby quieter. Yeah.
Talk, Gilby.
la 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 la, and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. Although I, Gilby, have my own hypotheses for obvious reasons. I think he was trying to cover up evidence from the previous serial case. Either he messed up, or maybe he was a serial killer. I don't know. But because it had to do with the last day that evidence could be used before it became an official cold case. I'm not remembering all the exact terms. That's my theory. I think he's trying to do a cover-up, and it will go from there. How's that?
Pretty good, I think. Fox Malone says, after you the cameras, check your doors for Bonnie and Ducky. Which is a reference you'd get now.
I don't get it.
If I said it was Bonnie and Chica, would that help?
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understood that reference.
One solitary yeet.
Yep.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Just real quick, everybody else. Is everyone able to hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm not a judge, unfortunately, because we again are on our super secret, this is where we meet to record.
Yeah, right.
Discord chat, in which case, like, you sound great to me, but I have no idea how you sound to the masses.
I was hoping we'd get maybe some sort of feedback from them. We'll just keep going until we hear something else. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Fox Malone says I can hear you. Listen. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago.
Katie says you're okay, just quieter than Gilby, so don't whisper. I will sing out.
If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which area was going to be caught on. Nick, you clicked that too fast. I'm sorry. I have no idea what I just said, but there wasn't any murder in the evidence room. 15.
So the supposed victim was really you?
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Well, Nick, I think you know, and I know exactly why there's blood.
I think we probably do, but we still got to make the game tell us.
We must play through the what is it? It's the tree. We must play through the dialogue tree.
You're exactly right. So when you say it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
case is closed. Only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself, one time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner, that case.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I... Please refer to my last email.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that morning of the incident.
So that really was why Detective Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor office's parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprint. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could, because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door? That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in here in that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder? Right. He's a special boy.
He's a special good boy.
Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say.
That's good. They got me there.
So you knocked out Officer Meekins and...
Per my last email.
So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, footage would have... However, the bloody coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is on that day...
Scene note.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me. And I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence? Actually, no. I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where's that evidence?
It's still missing, Connor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution, Edgeworth.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. This is a brand new statement. Do you want to say this one?
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry.
You're okay?
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Nope. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crime. One thing I can say for sure is he served his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files.
Yeah, let's examine those files.
Sounds good.
Okay. Incident number SL9 closed perpetrator.
Aha!
An anemone.
An anemone. Or as we heard Julie Chen say earlier, Googobolets.
Exactly.
Googobolets.
Joe Dark, crime serial murder, sentence death.
Yes, the crime of serial murder. Breakfast murder.
Oh, you know what we haven't looked at are the victims.
That's true.
Neil Marshall.
Shall we?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Why? Why not? Why not? Why not?
I'm guessing we put it in the wrong spot, or I put it in the wrong spot. My fault.
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the game!
Oh, because it was on the first statement as opposed to the last one.
Okay.
I think if we do it here, I think we're good.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, present. Yeah, sorry, that was my fault.
Not at all.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall? Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award.
What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any of it. That was all. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And
that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Edgy?
well, at least one thing's for certain. We know now what happened in the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case would have been reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze me.
Oh, Edgeworth.
At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office's parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got to draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Scott, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word.
Arrgh! Yeah, it's the weird thing about this one. It's the only one that Phoenix loses. Edgeworth has his day, goes on to star in a number of successful games. No. Seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Something sus here. Something super sus. Okay. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Hey! Your Honor! Wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? In a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. How magnanimous of him.
Right.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark.
Why are you not?
Right?
Blood in an evidence locker is not normal.
I get that Edge is in your name, but like normal people don't
Right.
leave blood lying around the evidence room. First of all, it's pathogen. That's not healthy. Second of all, I'm sorry. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
I object, but I don't know what.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your graph, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
Is it Badgie?
I don't know, you wanna try?
I do. What about about that piece of plywood?
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So
watch what happens when we put him in. This is where...
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. This is what happens when he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well? Well, what?
Yes.
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
What?
So that means, just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma?
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought in the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in? Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. I'm not sure what we're waiting for here. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered. We got the music. I love the music.
I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that, prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
Oh God, okay. It wouldn't be the parking ticket.
Nope, not the parking ticket, because that only shows when the car got to the prosecutor's office.
Right, which obviously the body was stuffed in the car and then found. Would it be the phone call?
The phone call was at 5:18 and was made between Lana and Emma. Right.
Okay, next screen. Let's see. Yeah, that's her finding it then.
Right.
I guess it would have to be the 777. He's 777, right? On the ID card record.
The ID card?
Yeah, at 420. Oh, look who's 440 though.
Yeah, we got trouble.
Oh, buddy.
Gotta do it though.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do
Edgy,
it.
my love. Edgy, my love. I'm so sorry.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record!
I did not see this coming.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Oh! Oh! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been you. Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to note the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Fortunately, physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again.
777, 777.
There's only one other card number remaining, 777, 7777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Well, since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777, 7777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. The ID number, I gotta count this out, 777 7777. I'm choosing to believe that's how he's actually saying it.
Yeah, may as well.
To someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous! Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted authority.
If an official charge is filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't blame me for a fool, partner. It's not what I want to have. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident.
The SO9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? Nick, why don't you do Lana? Because I've been doing like a ton of voices.
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did.
Lana?
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all of the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did.
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana...
Even if it involved forging evidence.
Blink. See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No!
Order! Lana's remarks caught...
Oh, that's you. Your Phoenix?
Yeah, the Lana's remarks caused such a stir that the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
To be continued.
Do-do!
How can you have that cutesy music after that?
I think we have time to get through this last investigation part. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll have to race, but I think we can do it.
The investigation, but not the trial, right?
No, I want to save that last trial bit for its own thing because it is the most difficult trial section in any Phoenix Wright game I've played. It is no joke.
Okay. Cool. All right. I am so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dart killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Hold on one sec.
Yep.
Hydrate or die straight.
Yep. It's a good time.
Lana wanted Dart convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dart's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dart tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dart trial.
I didn't see that one coming.
Let's talk it out, shall we?
Yeah, little talk therapy, maybe for this.
Little talk therapy. Here we go, kid. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too.
Worth, mentioning again, she would have been, 15 when this happened, so...
Oh my god, younger, because I think she actually says she's 15, so she would have been,
Yeah,
12 or 13.
she is a baby.
She baby. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dart tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for just an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture?
I don't remember the moment when Drake... Sorry, I'm getting... You know what? It's so close. It's the 2 letters.
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. Couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold. She is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma.
Carmena's picture.
What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried. The words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture. It wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14. I mean, that's understandable.
There you go, 14.
Yeah.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge anything.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime.
Something puzzling.
There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through in the interview, and then fled to my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detectives' offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dart case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Haha.
We're on a roll.
February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Lana?
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might have been found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
Before you press the buttons, Nick.
Sure.
I'm curious how this is going to be explained that somebody who was police force suddenly went to law school in the span of 2 years, passed the bar, and then became the chief prosecutor.
Well, while we're talking that out, we get to process an objection, which is going to make a completely different voice change.
Objection! Thanks, Katie.
And I think what I'm going to tell you in response, Gilby, is let this play out because there might be a reason.
Okay, sounds sus.
What if for the first time in this game's entire series, it was sus on purpose?
Okay. A lot of revelations were uncovered in the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I don't know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. I do know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
You were just him. Yeah, you were just him for like an hour.
Right.
That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with the knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. All right, let's see what the game has to say about this. This shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief. Okay, it's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing. That's a pretty cool photo, you gotta admit.
That is a boss-ass photo.
Right? You want to talk about like a powerhouse team. That's a power couple.
Yeah, that's a movie poster right
Absolutely. There. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of the police then. He still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever! They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed!
Emma really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was...
to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so that you could use the experience in court, right? Oh, I just remembered. Remember, Lana and Mia were in school together.
That's right, they were.
I forgot all about that.
Oh my gosh, memory unlocked. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead, Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigation. We even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. Oh yeah, because I just noticed this. His brother's underneath the dialogue.
Yeah, is down there at the bottom. He's pretty well tucked away, so you don't see it until the time comes.
Yeah, okay.
It's a nice little design element, yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us? First one at the scene. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let the guards down and fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the offices shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. Oh. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After her sister must have been gone through. After all her sister had gone through. Sorry, I think it's that after 10 o'clock the word's on.
No, I say you've had a lot of lines tonight, Gilby. You're good.
Woo! I don't know how this worked out, but we're going. And you know what? I'll say this. At least it seems like I'm going. Maybe that therapy's working. You know?
Yeah.
Physical therapy, everybody. Physical therapy.
Some voice therapy. Yeah.
So, yes, voice therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you okay?
Hang on. Oh, gosh.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully you can hear me still. Hang on.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe
gosh.
I'm not the
Oh,
one who
jeez.
needs therapy.
Oh, gosh.
Did you
All right, I'm back.
spill water?
No, I accidentally unplugged my headphones.
Oh gosh. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay. I'm ready. I'm sorry.
Did we do this line?
No, I still got to do it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9. That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Well, I think the game's telling us.
Telling us to vamoose, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get there from
go.
here. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
With David Tennant, guest starring. Sorry, he's literally right there. Okay. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same. Oh,
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
right. We can come back here later.
Can we not? We
Interesting.
can't get there from here, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Hey!
David Tennant again! He moves so fast.
And also our best friend. February 24th,
Sure.
Police Department entrance. Yay! Howdy, Bambina.
It's your turn, buddy.
Yay! I love Jake Marshall, even if you don't. Oh, Mr. Marshall! I never thought things would turn out the way out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Steve's a pet cactus. Say, where are you headed?
Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
I forgot that was me for a second.
It's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
Huh. Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today.
You know, man, maybe if you just focused on doing your job.
Well,
You know what it is, Nick? I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Sure.
I think this is the triggering factor. I get so frustrated with people who just coast through their job because it inevitably means that hashtag hard workers now have to do two people's jobs.
Yeah. I think there's also something to be said about, not to make this political, but the inherent white privilege of this guy just being like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do and damn the consequences, you know?
Yeah, honestly.
All right, shall we talk?
Yeah, let's go.
Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon.
Uh,
However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
Here we go.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
Well, and last.
Right?
Sorry.
Too soon. Respect for the dead, Gilby. Jeez.
God.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You mean the
King of prosecutors.
prosecutors. I knew it.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years has gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Scars!
Scares! There's something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Ms. Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious.
They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Investigation lead Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Skye.
There's that bomb-ass poster again.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's a good picture because we're going to see it a lot, so.
We're gonna see it a lot, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah. Dame Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky is totally different than when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out.
Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago.
So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict, but someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today.
That was actually a nice bit of animation right there.
Well, it's nice that he's been pretending to drink this entire time.
Oh, I just realized that.
Yep.
Wait. Oh my god.
I told you I love Jake Marshall.
Oh, okay, this changes everything.
This sends the investigation in an entirely new direction.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape.
Too
Not
bad.
the tape, your tape.
Yeah. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina.
Interesting. Okay. Now I see where this is going. We just have to pin it on you know whom.
Yeah. I think we get there through here.
Okay.
Because I think we get more talking. We're getting all the backstory.
Yeah. No one's here today. Not even Star.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
Instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
High Prosecutor's Office?
Yeah, let's talk to Edgy.
Or try to, anyway.
Yeah.
February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later.
Well, so not here.
Hey, game is trying to tell us something.
Yeah,
Why?
we need to go somewhere, but we're not sure where.
We're not sure where.
We
Back
talked
here?
back to the Criminal Affairs Department, maybe? Ah, something new here. February 24th,
Okay.
Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
Oh, now that is a phrase I'm taking with me. That is, oh God, yes, yes. As someone who suffers from
Multiple holiday syndrome.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Yep. Oof. Right in the feels. Okay. I think festive is the word. Nope, not for me, Phoenix. I'm not even reading that.
Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
I'll just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. It's how he was trained. Don't blame Gummy.
Right.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Let's go. Okay, so that's what we had to do.
All right, you ready?
Yes. Let's see what we can find. Who the hell has
February 24th, organist's room of the police department.
like a nice one too, and installed with an archway?
Right?
Joking? Whoa, where am I? Correct.
Well, in the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. It's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach.
That's adorable.
I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes.
Oh, bless. Bless her heart.
I never could remember where C was.
Do you want to begin?
Do you mind doing it?
No, not at all.
Okay. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, it's you two!
Chief Gant. Put that paper. It's reading on his desk.
So, righto! Have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of...
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forced evidence?
Well, 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies! See that big picture on the wall there?
We sure do.
That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture, and I think I know what it is.
There's a lot of something's not right with this picture.
Look, that award. Why is it broken there? Can't seem to put my finger on it, though.
Oh, bless you, Phoenix Wright. Gant
Let's
team
see that.
picture added to the court record. Photo at the award ceremony of Gant, Lana, and Neil.
First of all, Lana doesn't look happy.
No, Lana never looks happy. Bless her.
Yeah.
The classic. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, Emma. That case has long since
Sweetheart.
been over. There's
All
no...
cards for
Right.
everyone to see.
Just all, like, 52 pickup with Emma all the time. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out! I have a meeting to attend!
Looks like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's gotta be a way we can get inside Chief's office. Move.
All right.
How? But how?
Well, let's see.
Oh, wait.
Yeah?
It has something to do with 777-7777, right? We
I think
have to
that's-
get an official...
Yeah, we're ultimately proving who that belongs to, I think.
Yes.
So what do you want to do? We've got a lot of leads here. We can try and follow up, so... I think
I don't know where to go.
I think
That's
the only
my
person that can't help us right now is Lana. So
With whom you cut out.
I think the only person that can't help us right now is Lana. So the detention center's out.
Okay.
Got the criminal affairs. You got the underground parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Maybe we have to look at the underground parking lot.
High prosecutor's office.
You're leading me here. That leads me to believe.
I don't know that I am. I just know that it's the only unique location we can get to from here.
Okay.
So we may as well check it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So not here.
Okay, never mind. I thought I was part of your cunning plan.
No, you gotta. I was being very honest with Fox Malone earlier. It's 50-50.
See, ever since that video, Nick, I'm like, now I have questions.
Well, the only other place that we can go is back to the Criminal Affairs Department,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Oh. February
Oh, here we
24th.
go.
Police Station. Criminal Affairs Department. Would you like for me to take this voice?
Do you mind?
Not
I'm
at
sorry
all.
I'm giving you all the voices.
No.
I
You know I'm a giant ham. I also know who's coming. This time, I'm pretty sure.
okay. Okay.
Hey, pal!
Oh, of course. How could I deny you?
Right. I think
The
for
guy
the...
you'd actually play in the movie. How
And
could
I think for the last time, too. God love him.
No, really?
I think maybe.
Don't be a rap on Gumshoe. Okay.
This might be a series
I'm gonna
wrap on
make it
Gumshoe.
through.
Yeah, you can do it.
I'm gonna, okay.
Gotta hold back the tears, Gilby. We gotta do it.
We got a whole crime scene to investigate. Okay. Okay. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, Foxmillan says, I'm around just done with all my stuff for the evening so I can Starfield. Yeah, explore away, man.
Hey.
From serving everyone coffee.
No. No. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the...
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said? Yeah, that's basically what it all boils down to. I falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth is the whole world after his blood. Yikes.
Talk!
Talk!
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she?
And regardless, a prosecutor who is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this... Are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work!
Yes, sir!
Now let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat!
Yes, sir!
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir!
Seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Bless. Yeah, well,
Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. The line read was so shitty, I apologize.
you're fine.
It was undeserving of the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack.
The SL9 incident.
Actually...
So, I forgot Gummy's first name was Dick.
Oh yeah,
I know
Dick
why
Gumshoe.
it's Dick. I know why it's Dick, but it's still funny.
No, absolutely. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything?
The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack? You mean,
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
the,
Me?
it seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see, I think it had something to do with the murder weapon, oh, I forget. Look, it's all written in there somewhere. It's all written somewhere in here, okay?
Powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. We've also got another talkie thing.
Yeah, let's do the talkie and then show him the murder weapon.
Okay. Joe Doc was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
I think, Nick, sometimes I think you're cutting out.
Oh.
Just FYI. Are you on push to talk?
I'm not, no.
Okay. It's the ends of sentences. I don't know why, but just FYI.
I will try and drive through the line.
All right.
One day on his way home from some work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes. But but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. And then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. And then he killed a kid. Then he killed a jogger who came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems like he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this was all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in?
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Doc was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness, aka Emma.
Shall we show him the murder weapon?
Yeah. That's Switchblade, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I wonder what the vase has to do with this whole case. That's the thing that's sticking out to me, and I have no idea.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, yeah. About this.
Hey, is that...
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this is the broken murder weapon.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. That's right. Katie is very particular about these terms. He was not a serial killer or a serial killer. He's just a spree killer.
A spree killer.
Do you know the difference, Gilby?
There is a difference. Yeah, see, I mean...
Katie has told me a number of times.
It's kind of like the difference between a serial killer and like somebody who commits a massacre or an assassination. There are, I mean, obviously people die, but there are like divinations in between. I would guess a spree is somebody who killed multiple people at one time, whereas a serial killer killed multiple people over a period of time.
Yep, you got it. That is it exactly. A serial killer requires duration, as opposed to a spree killer, which gets all of their targets of opportunity at once, basically. I think it's within 72 hours, right, Katie? It has to be longer than that to be considered serial killer? I'll wait for your answer in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again!
Stop!
Right.
This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus he had his fingerprints on it too. Katie says, over two people at least months apart and usually in the same or similar ways.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look at to notice that. Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound.
Now, if it's punctured heart and lung, does that mean he was stabbed twice, or did it like go through one organ to hit the other?
I'm assuming going through one organ to hit the other, based on the picture we saw of how they were found.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Switchblade knife updated in the court record. The broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to murderer Joe Dark. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh.
It's a smart idea, though, Emma.
Yeah, it is.
So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
What could we show Gumshoe that would make him change his mind?
King of Prosecutors trophy?
Maybe.
You'll do that?
Yeah.
Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. We've done this dialogue before.
Congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten.
Alright, so it's not that.
No. The picture?
The picture, maybe?
Maybe.
Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut.
I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so it's not that.
Sheesh. Yeah, it wasn't that. Incident files, maybe?
Maybe?
I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. I think the people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know? After all, a serial killer was on the loose.
But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. It's interesting, we are getting some dialogue options.
I think I know what we have to do. Do you trust me to navigate us in this moment?
You know, I was making a joke about the videotape. I do trust you. Go ahead.
I think... Yeah, I remember this moment now.
Okay.
Yeah. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is! It looks like he's writing something. Is that me?
Oh, it's you? Yeah,
oh gosh.
I'm Phoenix.
What are you
writing.
doing
You're
here?
Edgy. Sorry.
Yeah.
She was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live with the past 2 years of rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So...
What?
Right. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
Unlike some people.
Well, the game gave us a pretty big hint.
Yeah, look at the paper, right? Examine. Clicky click. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground.
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
Look.
What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation.
Resignation? Sorry, that was me. That was.
No, I know. Yeah, it was real, right?
Oh, Edgeworth. You don't mean.
I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside of me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault! I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me, and the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done, and no one else should forgive me either.
Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something! This letter of resignation...
Oh.
Sorry. I know, I got too excited.
It's okay, it's okay. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can for anything.
Letter of resignation put in the pocket. Edgeworth's discarded letter of resignation. He's serious.
He's serious.
So I think we can talk to Edgeworth if you want, or I think we have the thing. Yeah. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase the fact.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same, no matter what excuses I may have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Nothing but a heart. I'm sorry.
Nah, hey.
Tell me why. Even Edgeworth can't keep kind of emotion bottled up. You up for the trial tomorrow?
First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? I just thought.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture. Something seems strange about it. Datagram? Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the award ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in the case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right. You want to show him the picture?
Let's show him that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Rorschach drawing.
Rorschach?
No.
A Rorschach?
A Rorschach drawing.
Yeah.
What do you see? A butterfly? A dead dad? Hopes and dreams crushed before you?
Two trees kissing? Wait, what?
No, that weird picture where it's two people kissing, but then it's the vase.
But also Vols.
Oh, Vols.
Vols.
We have had this argument before. That is true. Okay. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Well, speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding? It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
Probably show him the award, right?
Yep.
Oh, no. There's a dialogue option.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's okay. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard of this story?
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why didn't you Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake?
Very well.
Toxic masculinity in practice.
Right. Long ago in the kingdom of Shu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. I love that gets the music, too.
I do too, and a full-on objection.
Right. Oh, I see! So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
I did too. That was super cool.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, that's funny.
I also don't know if it's true at all.
Yeah, we'll have to double check. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Wait, hold up. Theory time. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Somebody was killed because Chief Gant ripped the knife off the award to kill somebody.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
Guess we'll see. Chief Gant.
King of Prosecutors Trophy updated in the court record. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Alright. We've talked it out. You know where we're going, right?
I actually don't. I blanked out. Where are we going?
Well, we picked up a crucial
sorry.
piece of evidence, right?
Yeah. Should we go to the law office and examine it?
I think there's someone that we would have more impact showing that to.
We should show Lana, shouldn't we?
Lana, you think so?
I'm so lost, Nick. I really wasn't kidding. I'm not joking. I actually don't know what to do.
No, it's okay. Actually, this is really nice considering the story that we just heard. So there's unbreakable pairs throughout this. Oh, I said this is actually really nice considering the story we just heard. So there's unbreakable pairs throughout this game, right? You've got Phoenix and either... oh my god, I blanked on Maya's name for a second. Holy moly. Yeah, so you got Phoenix and either Maya or Emma. And then you've got Edgeworth and... Who's his partner?
Meekins.
Meekins?
No, who is his partner? Hold on.
He's in every game.
He's in every game. Is it Gumshoe?
I would say it's Gumshoe.
Oh, it is! It is Gumshoe!
We have a new person.
Ooh. Excuse me.
Aha!
Okay. Would either of you care for a 1/4 pound of roast beef?
Gross.
The star? Maybe she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
Ew. Sorry, that line grossed me out. I hate that I had to say that and put those words inside of me.
Right.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day of the evidence from that case was due for transfer. This can't be all attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness?
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Good at night.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
Miss Starr's hatred towards Lana all dates back to 2 years ago.
Gilby, I hate to do this, but it is 11 o'clock. We're
No,
over.
no, let's go to bed.
Yeah, we're over our normal time. And I hate to do this to everybody. I know we are here in the finale, and I feel the momentum towards the end too, but I think that in order for this to be a satisfactory conclusion, I think we should save here.
Yes.
And we pick this up when we come back next time. And Gilby, if I might be so bold, maybe we start at 8 next week?
Yeah, just remember next week, folks, it's going to be a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday.
That's right. So we're a couple special things next week. It will be Tuesday as opposed to Wednesday. We'll probably start a little bit early. I'll shoot for 8 o'clock. And we will finish this game come heck or high water.
It's happening, folks.
It is happening. So, again, sorry for the abrupt stop, folks. I know that was a little bit out of nowhere, but
We're tired. It's time.
Yeah, and I had an eye on the clock. So, again, thank you all so much for choosing to spend your time with us this evening. We know you have many options on what you could be doing. We appreciate you spending some of that time with us.
Special call out tonight go to Fox Malone, El Caddy, Pat Teen, and of course, Shag's World. But most importantly, let's go back to little Catty Cat 18 because that is Katie, and we always appreciate it.
That's right. She is a little Katie cat. 18.
Oh, a little Katie cat. Okay, I'm an asshole and an idiot. So.
No, you're fine. All right, folks. That is going to do it for this evening. I think we're skipping the raid just because it's a little bit later. But I do want to say thank you all again. My name is Nick, a.k.a. Pavel the Barbarian Bard. With me is my bestest voiceover buddy,
Gilbert Gotta Game.
And thank you all again so much for being here, and have fun playing your games. Bye!